Hey guys, Halos213 here, and today, as you can see, I'm in a weird RWBY looking board game type of scenario that I made by myself, obviously by the title. Well, again, this game is, as you read, is a deck builder, but before I even get into rules or anything of what this actually is, I want to just announce I do not have any ownership over the RWBY franchise, storyline, and all that. That's all Roosterteeth's. I like to say I'm a big fan of their thing and their franchise and their story they got going for this series. So again, I want to give a big shout out to them. Go check them out, Roosterteeth on YouTube. Also Achievement Hunter and all that. They got all that going for them. And I also like to say a lot about this community in the sense that Murder Birds and a couple other people who are been lower down with me, like that make theories and stuff. I wanted to give a big shout out to them as well. Again, specifically Murder Birds, because I watch a lot of his reaction and his theories, and I do agree with them, and I like to theorize on my own. Speaking of theories, one last thing before we go over to this game, I like to give a big shout out to the RWBY Amino app. That's something I do a lot of my theories on and polls, and I know a lot of you who are probably hopping on this video right now saying, holy shit, this is Halos actually talking for the first time, if you are coming from the Amino app. Yes, this is me. Ooh. This is again a card game that you can get on Tabletop Sim on Steam. It's a parody of original game that I will actually show right now. Again, shout outs to the concept of how this game is built out to a guy, OV2 or V2O. I'll show his Steam page. You can go to him. He originally had the idea of a Pokemon deck building game. So what I did was I took his base game, used with a couple of stats, had to modify a couple of them, and made my own themed version of that game in RWBY, which is shown right here. And for those who haven't played the Pokemon game, I'm going to show you the rules right now on how to do it. For those who have played the Pokemon game, when you get in here, I'll probably leave like a note card with the instructions of what cards get replaced, because again, for those who will know, for example, aura increase is basically just potions. Again, all the equivalents to each card will be put inside here for whoever wants to play this game, who already knows how to play the Pokemon game and is a RWBY fan themselves. So, without further ado, I'm going to explain how this game works in general for those who have no idea how to play this game. Again, if you want to find out what my Steam Workshop is, here it is right now, because again, I know the people who don't want me to go over the rules probably want to see how to get to this add-on to Tabletop Sim, this workshop item, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people aren't here just to see the rules. So yep, that's pretty much it. That's how you get to the Steam Workshop item. I hope that was informational. I'm trying to get out as much information as I can, and plus I'm terrible at talking. So yeah, okay. So this is how the game works. So when you usually spawn in, this row will be blank. I pull out some cards for example right now. But when you get in, this row will be blank. You'll have to get obviously more than just 2 people. This is a 3 or higher game. And as you can see, you got 3 slots here. What you're going to do is, again, this is totally up to you in the party you're with that's playing this game. You'll see that there's a people's card here. You're either gonna randomize it and get a random character, or you're gonna search it to choose if you want to see if you want to choose a character or not. Personally, my favorite is Blake Belladonna, so I'm gonna pull out that bag. I just closed my game like a complete idiot. Okay, like I was saying before I completely fucked that up and closed my game, I'm going to choose Blake Belladonna, which is hard to see on the thing, but when you get your character sack, you're going to see 3 things in there. You're going to see the main person card, which will go here. You're going to get a starter deck, which comes with 2 different cards, which should have 6 of these attack cards and 3 of these still learning cards. So yeah, you should get that. You flip that over, and then for each character it comes with their own very character card that you'll be adding to that deck, which is your character. For example, Blake Belladonna, and each character has their own specific stats. As you can see, Blake has plus 1 energy and it draw a card. So basically how this game works is like any other deck builder, you'll get your deck, you'll shuffle it up with the cards in it, you'll take turns going with phases. So for example, I will go. On my turn, you draw 5 cards in your hand, you take a look at what you got, so you're like, okay, I have this cards. You can show it to your opponents if you want, that's up to you, depends on what type of cards you have. But say I have, okay, so I don't have Blake right now, that's kind of sad, but if I had Blake, I'd be able to draw another card because she says to draw a card thing on there. but I know these two cards do absolutely nothing. The learning skills, so they're pretty much trash cards that you want to try and find a way to get rid of out of your deck. I'll discard those, and I'll start my buy-in phase, which is I have 3 energy here. So I can come over to lineup, and eventually you'll shuffle this and you line up cards. I just, again, did random cards right now to just use as examples. And I'll see, okay, I have 3 energy, and I can buy you multiple things here. So for 3 energy, as you can see in the lower corner of all the cards, there is a cost symbol. For example, this card right here, extra knowledge. If I can buy this card for 1 cost, and I would discard 1 energy. When I do this, I take this and drop it into my discard. What happened, the whole idea behind that is once I've wasted all my cards in my deck, I take my discard, flip it over, and reshuffle with the new cards in it. And you just keep building off of that. That's pretty much the concept of the deck builder idea, if you guys did not know that. So going into the game, there's obviously a bunch of different load colored cards, and probably very scary at first to see, but when you crack it down, it's pretty cool. So we look into our first card here. So we have what it looks to be an orange card. These are what you call challenge cards. Again, it's cards that you can't really, sometimes you can't avoid, but sometimes you can. For example, this one you can't avoid because it says buy, but there's ones in there that say you must play, so when you actually get the card on your turn in the store thing, you have to buy it, or you have to play whatever it says. So then we have cards like this, which is a person card. The person cards can depend on how they vary. So specifically about this person card, Young Adam, is if once I buy this, and the turn goes around again, so like if I have this in my hand again, as you can see, he has an attack ability, and he has a grow ability. So with buying phase comes first, or well, I mean, attacking and buying can vary depending on how you guys want to do it, but normally attacking phase comes first, so what you do is you attack. By placing this card down, you make each opponent discard a card from their hand, and then on their turn they would have 1 less card to work with. But also a lot of characters that have multiple stages, and that like different stages in life that I put inside this game, have a grow ability. So what you could do is instead of using your 4 energy to buy a card off the deck, you can use the grow ability. And basically what this does, it puts under your main person this card, which is worth points in this corner. I'll get to that in a sec. But then, once you've done that, this will go underneath there, and you'll be able to pull off a card from the time deck. So you'll look into the time deck, you look for the card Chibi Adam. Obviously, to make this easier, I just put it on top of the deck, so I wouldn't have to search all of it. Usually in the game you'll search. But once you got that, this will become a part of your deck. This will go under your play card. So basically you take that up, you flip it over, you drop it, and you pretty much place on there. Should go right on there, just like that. Obviously the scaling might be a bit off, but that's fine. It's meant to do that. Once you've done that, you're going to take this again, drop it into your deck. So the whole purpose of that is again to again get better cards in your hand, but also for the concept of this green point I was talking about. All cards in this game have green points in the left-hand corner. These points are points you're trying to save up to get as many as you can in the game. The point of this is by the end of the game, whoever has the most of these points wins the game. For example, if I buy any of these cards or increase or achievements from the top here, I get the green point, and then I'll add up my deck at the end of the game. The end of the game dictates one of 2 things have happened. That you either deplete this card, you buy all the cards in this achievement deck, or you waste, so everyone buys and gains cards and empties out the whole main deck, and there's nothing left in the main deck. That is 2 possibilities of the game ending. Again, at the end of the game, whoever has the most green points wins. So moving on to further cards, so there's certain cards that have different specific details. For example, there is a cookies card. There is about 6 of these in the deck, so basically buying these in a lot of numbers can help you, because cards different vary. So another person's card, again, with the cookie, is if for every cookie card in your discard pile, gain +1 energy. So say if I bought 4 cookies and used all of them and they're inside my discard pile, I'm only gaining energy off this card, which again, has with multi-purpose. Same with this card, it also has a multi-purpose. but again, they vary. Because a person can be labeled or can be specifically sought out by a different card, because again, some cards affect certain cards. So again, this is challenge, person, and then we move on to these blue ones, which are called semblance cards. Again, these are not people, they will not have the grow function, but they could have attacks, like such as each opponent gains a poison. And we go into what is a poison. So, unlike discarding a card, a poison is actually one of these. This card, again, kind of acts like a learning card, except, as you can see, it's a -1 when you add up your score. So you want to try and get rid of these, because there is cards that will make you be able to put stuff in the trash, which is this pile over here. Once something goes in the trash, it doesn't come out. If you run during the game, if you run out of poisons and you have cards that say you gain a poison, they become useless and you cannot gain any more poisons. They're officially out of it. Going on to the achievement stack really quick. These again are cards that will go right underneath your person when you buy them, because they're just straightforward, and they pretty much say, hey, you've killed this thing, get a truckload of points. Again, once you reach the last card at the bottom of the deck, the last card of the achievements, which should probably say in here, ignore that I'm throwing them in the trash, eventually get them. Yep. If this card is gained by any player, this game, it's over. The game's over. So yeah, that's pretty much how that works. Another deck that you'll see here is the Aura Increase. So when you're in your purchasing phase, you pretty much can buy these. They're always available, but once all 16 are out, they're gone. You can't buy pretty much anything else from here, like it's gone. All it is to help you build your deck faster. For example, if I have 3 energy and instead of buying this or the Atom thing, I waste my 3 energy on buying this instead of any of the items on the lineup, that's fine. So, going into the lineup itself, the interesting thing about the lineup itself is whatever you buy off the lineup, say like if I buy like 3 of these cards, and I end my turn, the next person can take the next 2 cards and flip them over to see what they can buy. And that's pretty much how the purchasing system works. Sorry if my description wasn't the best, guys, if I like had to cut out a lot of parts or I was being like weird with some words. I'm not the best speaker when it comes to trying to explaining things like this game. I highly recommend to go try out that Pokemon deck builder I showed earlier, because that again is basically this, except it's just RWBY themed. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. If you guys want to see more of this type of stuff of just remakes, let me know. But I believe my next video that I'm coming out with for this series, or Halo's Workshop series, is a game that I've made completely by myself and brand new, so it won't be a remake of anything. So yeah, if you guys like this content, kill like button. Again, go check out that guy's Steam page. Go check out Roosterteeth's RWBY series if you haven't already. Again, a good community, Murder Bird, a lot of animators, artists, Achievement Hunter, all of them. Go check them out. They're pretty cool. If you guys like this content, kill like button, subscribe. I'm a Spartan today. Halo's out. Bye!